Welcome back to the 8 and 88 podcast. It is May 7th, 2026, and if you're a fan of Dallas or LA, your blood pressure is probably through the roof right now. We are dissecting two franchises that took massive swings, and today we're seeing if those bets are paying off or blowing up.
No doubt, Dwayne, we've got the Cowboys redefining what it means to have a defense without a superstar edge, and our Lakers are currently in the trenches in OKC, fighting the Thunder and, let's be honest, some questionable officiating.
That right there is the Dallas defensive paradigm shift in action. Absolutely dominant.
Let's start with the star. The Cowboys effectively ended the Micah Parsons era last August. Trading an All-Pro who just landed a 4-year, $188 million deal in Green Bay was a move that had fans ready to riot. But look at the results as of today.
Multiplayer theory, right? Jerry and Stephen Jones decided they'd rather have a collective of killers than one king.
Exactly. They took that capital and built a wall. The anchor. They brought in Quinnen Williams via the Jets trade. He's the motor. You pair him with Kenny Clark, and suddenly that defense that gave up 30.1 points per game in 2025, which was the worst in the league, now has some teeth. The youth movement. They absolutely killed the 2026 draft. You've got Caleb Downs, the Jim Thorpe winner, and already the best-selling rookie jersey. Malachi Lawrence running a 1.59-second 10-yard split. He's the raw speed replacement for Parsons. And Jyshawn Barham moving him to inside linebacker to fix that massive hole in the middle.
And don't forget the cap magic. Restructuring Dak, CD, and Tyler Smith cleared $66 million in space. They even got George Pickens to sign that franchise tag. This offense is stable, but the defense is where the gamble lives.
He drives the lane. Watch out.
Oh, an absolutely spectacular dunk. He is fired up, tied game.
Let's pivot to the hardwood. The Lakers are in a dogfight. We traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic to maximize LeBron's window, but right now the injury bug is eating us alive.
It's brutal. We're down 0-1 to OKC after that 108-90 blowout in Game 1, and the injury report for tonight's Game 2 is a horror movie.
Look at these numbers, Hank. This is what we're missing tonight. Luka Doncic, out, hamstring. That's 34 PPG, 8 RPG, and 9 APG sitting on the bench. Jared Vanderbilt, doubtful, finger dislocation. Luke Kennard, questionable, neck.
It's putting everything on LeBron and Rui Hachimura. To Rui's credit, the man is on a historic tear, shooting over 50% from 3 in 10 straight playoff games. That's an NBA record. But you can't beat the number 1 seed with just efficiency.
You got to be kidding me, ref. Are you blind? That is not a foul.
And here is where I get heated. We're playing the world champions in the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP. I get it. But did you watch Game 1? Every time a Laker even breathes in the direction of Chet Holmgren or SGA, there's a whistle.
It felt like a home court advantage on steroids. The Thunder are physical and handsy, LeBron's own words, but the refs let them play while we get tagged for every bump. Following OKC's 2025 NBA championship, the narrative of a golden whistle has intensified among competitors.
It's ridiculous. You've got Jalen Williams out for them, but they've got 5 guys on the floor and 3 guys in striped shirts. I'm telling you, man, watching the way they were calling those game plan breakdowns in the second half, it's demoralizing.
After Game 2 of the 2026 Western Conference quarterfinals, Booker was fined $35,000 for calling the officiating disrespectful and comparing the league's treatment of OKC to the WWE. He noted that as an 11-year veteran, he had never seen such a lopsided environment.
The word is resilience, but let's call it like it is. It's hard to beat the refs and the Thunder at the same time. If we don't get a fair whistle tonight in the Paycom Center, it doesn't matter if LeBron drops 40.
During the same 2026 series, Brooks explicitly called Shai Gilgeous-Alexander frail and claimed the referees were easily manipulated by his flailing. He famously stated, "This is the playoffs. It's a man's game, not this flailing and going to the line." In March 2026, Nurse went viral for a sideline rant where he screamed at officials, "They are not perfect. They foul too. They foul too, though." He later argued that OKC's defenders, specifically Lou Dort and Alex Caruso, are allowed to be more physical than any other team in the league without being whistled. During a March 2026 matchup, Brown was heard shouting, "That's not basketball," on the broadcast after an SGA foul call. Post-game, he alleged that the league rewards manipulators who sell contact over those who play the game the right way. Throughout the 2025 NBA Finals and the 2026 season opener, Carlisle was repeatedly fined and assessed technical fouls for arguing that OKC was receiving superstar treatment. He famously refused to answer a post-game question about calls to avoid an exorbitant fine. Being a realist, I'm not one to blame the refs for a loss like a casual fan would, but sometimes I have to call it like I see it. It is hard for me to respect OKC as champions when they're as soft as fresh baby shit, whining to the refs to get a whistle when you get a little physical with them, and the refs giving in to them. That's my rant for the day. Let's get into the Hall of Fame Minute. Welcome to the Hall of Fame Minute, where Dwayne and I believe in giving people their just due, whether positive or negative. Dwayne, keep the cameras rolling because I'm about to talk about a man whose career isn't just a list of stats. It's an indictment of the Hall of Fame selection process. I want to talk about Everson Walls. We love the against the odds story in this country, right? Well, Everson didn't just beat the odds, he dismantled them. He starts as a walk-on at Grambling State under the legend Eddie Robinson. He's undrafted. Not a single team in the NFL thought a kid who led the entire nation with 11 interceptions as a senior was worth a late-round flyer. They said he was too slow. So what does he do? He walks into the Dallas Cowboys camp in 1981 as a free agent and intercepts 3 passes in the preseason just to force Tom Landry to keep him. And then he puts together the greatest rookie season by a defensive back in the history of the league. 11 interceptions. He led the entire NFL as a rookie who wasn't even supposed to make the flight. But look at the longevity, because that's what Canton usually looks for. Walls didn't just have a flash-in-the-pan year. He led the NFL in interceptions in 1981, again in the strike-shortened 82 season, with 7 picks in only 9 games, and then again in 1985 with 9 more. Think about that. In over 100 years of professional football, only 2 men have ever led the league in interceptions 3 separate times. One is Ed Reed, a first ballot lock. The other is Everson Walls, and he's still waiting. He finished his career with 57 interceptions. That puts him tied for 13th all time. He's sitting right there next to Hall of Famers like Mel Blount and Johnny Robinson. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time first-team All-Pro. And if you think he was just a stat chaser, go watch the tape of Super Bowl XV. People said he couldn't tackle. He made the touchdown-saving open field stop on Thurman Thomas that saved the ring for the Giants. Bill Belichick, the greatest defensive mind ever, called it one of the biggest tackles he's ever seen. He played for Landry, Parcells, Belichick, and Saban. Every genius in the game wanted him on the field. He led the Cowboys in interceptions 5 different years, a franchise record. He even holds the record for career interceptions in the Pro Bowl. And we haven't even touched the man's character. This is the man who donated a kidney to his teammate, Ron Springs. He literally gave a piece of himself to save a brother. If 57 interceptions, leading the league 3 times, a Super Bowl ring, and being the defensive heartbeat of the 80s Cowboys isn't enough for a gold jacket, then what are we actually measuring in Canton? Is it a Hall of Fame or a Hall of who we like best? Because the numbers don't lie, and the film doesn't lie. Everson Walls is a Hall of Famer, and every year he's ignored is a stain on the game's history.
This game's in the refrigerator, the door's closed, the lights out, the eggs are cooling, the butter's getting hard, and the Jell-O's jiggling.